A statue was placed in her former office. She protested to the owner that the move amounted to a demotion, and then she was fired.
Of course.
Wow, dude, this is kind of epic. I don't know. Should we have every time we talk to one another? If I don't call you a razzhole, you're not allowed to be on the radio for like 10 days or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. It is. Well, I'm all for personal censorship. If you didn't want me on your show, I think you're definitely okay to not let me on your show. But if I wanted to talk to the government in a public forum, then you can't censor me.
Well, right. Here's if they were going to hire employees, wouldn't part of the, and I know this is a slippery slope, but if you want employees that practice a certain doctrine, they want to go down, behave a certain way. Wouldn't this be part of the interview process? You say, are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? Do you believe in this? Do you believe in this? As part of the interview, before you hire them, then you have someone that is pliable and moronic, that you can make these things happen. Yeah. Why would you hire somebody unknowingly? I know you can't legally under all this all the laws, you can't discriminate for religious or et cetera, but you can kind of in the herd, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely. But
limit your exposure.
Yeah, well,
no, that was a little point out there to Bob with his exposure. Because he had ghosties in the butt because he loves Jesus.
Yeah, something's really going wrong with my fucking computer.
What's going on, buddy?
I'm trying to copy and paste a link.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually broadcasting live on YouTube right now, and I can't do it because something's going on. I'm actually not for nothing. I'm convinced my computer is actually being monitored.
You honestly believe it's being monitored?
Yeah, there's a bunch of anomalies that have been going on for the last 2 or 3 months, like copying and pasting and blah blah blah. And like right now, I can't do something. Sorry. What happened to you? Still there?
Yeah.
Okay. My Skype screen went weird. I was like, oh, imagine that. And my fucking voice gets cut off when I'm talking shit.
When you're talking shit. Speaking of talking shit.
Yeah, take over. Somebody's knocking on my door. Hold on a second.
Okay. Now, yeah. Speaking of talking shit, we have the lovely Eric, formerly known as Spicoli, on the line here. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I think I'm kind of getting back to this because even you see my mic stand is Spicoli'd out.
It is kind of Spicoli'd out, and I'm digging on that. That looks awesome.
I need like a little monkey to hang. I'm gonna get a little monkey to hang down from the bottom and like a lizard to be on top.
It's very foresty looking.
Right.
Are you going for the you're sporting the rainforest kind of look there? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, kind of. And it was funny because there was only one person who actually picked out what it is. Can you tell what it is?
Can I tell what it's a mic stand? Or
my favorite flora.
Former favorite flora.
Well, I don't have to be. You know what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I've got to call it like it is because I know you're working on what 50 days now, isn't it?
Of
Cold Turkey Man.
Of the sauce. Yes.
Oh, just the sauce. Oh, you've still been enjoying your flora and fauna.
Yes, here and there.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into my addiction, but I just, it was so.
Why not, man? You called in. We're getting right into it.
All right. Well, shit. Yeah, I did have to, I tried to quit everything, nicotine and THC at the same time as all that.
That's just stupid.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was very, very stupid. That shit keeps me even, man. And it's, I'm actually looking in the process of, reaching out to some professional people to see if some other things might not help or might help.
Might help or might not help.
Yes, exactly. But I had to get. It was a shitty ass day, so I figured I'd join in with the fucking fellas. I heard FourToed was gracing us with his presence, although I think maybe the NSA or Tampa PD might have just shown up at his door.
Actually, you know what it was? It was thunder.
It was thunder.
You guys got to understand, right? I got headphones on, right? And I heard, and I was like, what the fuck? Right, so I ran out there, and nobody's out there. And I was like, oh, shit, it was thunder. Because it happens to me every time I have the headphones on.
Dude, that happened the other day, because I live right by Universal, and there's, fireworks that go off pretty much nightly, but it was at a time fireworks weren't going off, and I'm sitting here on my computer, and I hear 5 pops. So what did I do? I went and got my gun, and I went outside, because I was like, it sounded too close to be the fireworks and everything. But I'm the same type of way, man. I'm cautious. I'm aware of what's going on in the neighborhood. Plus, it's like I said, what was that? The Tiernov, that FBI battle where they shot the guy in the head, where he supposedly lunged at them with a knife for the Boston bomber. That took place maybe literally about 500 yards away from where I'm at. So it's leery that 500 yards direct distance. So I'm always weary of shit going down in my neighborhood.
I've got an interesting story here that I'm sure that one of the two gentlemen on the line here that I'm talking to might be able to relate to this in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I sit here with bated breath to see what kind of reaction or what your input will be. Arizona police arrest a man for shooting at the moon. A marijuana smoker arrested in Arizona after shooting.
Why has he got to be a marijuana smoker?
That's what they've labeled it right out of the gate. A marijuana smoker was arrested in Arizona after shooting at the moon with a handgun.
Shoot the moon!
Shoot the moon! And wrestling with officers who were called by his girlfriend to subdue him. Police went to the home in Prescott Valley, 85 miles from Phoenix, late Friday night. A woman told him her partner had fired several shots into the air after telling her that her teenage son had seen Halley's Comet.
Did Officer Hardhat that showed up on
and Sergeant Sedenko?
Jesus Christ.
It's Hardhat, Lardass.
Prescott Valley spokesman says Mr. Reed, 39 years old, was arrested after a struggle and admitted firing multiple times and trying to, quote, shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Wow. And both him and his girl, they confessed to smoking marijuana before the incident. Obviously, they went into that reefer madness stage is what happened there.
Yeah, because that's what always happens.
Yeah.
But why would you confess? That's the thing.
Although
I really found I went to the hospital the other day. I had a hard time telling them I had THC in my system. They really were asking me, what are you taking? What's in your system? I was like, I didn't want to tell them. Yeah.
Aspirin. I chewed on some Tylenol and I got basil growing. I was chewing on a basil leaf under my tongue. I mean, you call it something like that. I mean, it's about the same level of punch. I don't know. Have you tried smoking basil?
I've done. I will not lie. I've done the oregano and nutmeg, and that shit is terrible. I was young and stupider, and that shit. I think it was just basically a ploy to get some asshole to smoke it when nobody else did. I mean, back in the day, people would try to eat the nutmeg and do all this shit. That's like just basically almost like snipe hunting, in my opinion.
Wow. Clown Boy Reed here.
Red.
Reed?
Clown Boy Red.
Would you call it Red? Clown Boy Red?
Clown Boy Red.
Okay. He's being held in jail on felony charges.
Really?
Felony charges: unlawful discharge of a firearm, resisting arrest, disorderly.
Wait. Say the name again.
Clown Boy Cameron.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I thought, we know a clown boy Red.
Yeah, and he's also gone through some mental issues.
Yeah. No, it's Cameron Reed, R-E-A-D.
Right.
Or we could just say Clown Boy Red. Yeah, unlawful discharge of a firearm, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and endangerment, and a misdemeanor count of criminal damage. So don't shoot at the moon, boys and girls. This is
what damage did he do? Did he put fucking pockmarks in the moon? That's all the moon is.
I don't know. Dude, you're asking the wrong guy. That's the extent of the story on this. I mean, even Reuters doesn't have all the goodies here.
Yeah, well, that just means that they're making shit up. They couldn't find a law, so they just make shit up.
Yeah.
You know, unlawful discharge of a weapon is a very serious offense, and I think we all. Somebody, I just heard a story of somebody who may have been in that same situation.
See, that's what I'm saying. I thought of everyone here that you might have been able to bring something to the table to tell us about how this can be a bad thing.
It could be fucking terrible, and God knows, I don't pray to God or anything like that, but Jesus Christ. I read a story where somebody was in the same exact situation. They just got 80 fucking years. 80 years. Didn't shoot anybody.
No.
It was all into the air.
Yeah. And so how lucky do you think that guy is?
The guy who got away with it?
And very adamant about changing his life to make sure that things don't happen again.
Yeah.
And that fucking asshole doesn't get raped in prison.
You know, when I crashed my motorcycle, right, I admitted to the cops that I was drinking. Because at that point I didn't care because I was full of road rash from my fucking face to my toes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, they didn't give me a DUI, and it's because, you know, I learned my lesson, and it seems to be that you did too. You know,
he's a lesson learner.
I actually continuously think about that. I was waiting for 5 days afterwards to hear a story on the news of, you know, somebody getting hit, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, that would have made it even." Now, you know what? I would have turned myself in.
Yeah,
it happened. I mean, it that's something that I couldn't have lived with. But again, just reading the story of the guy who got 80 years, that even put some shit into a little bit more of a perspective. That thank God Rotunda's a sleepy town.
Yeah.
It could have been a real good time.
Oh my God! But yeah,
I'm surprised. Actually, yes, it is. But the vast majority of I don't know. That's right in the cusp zone as well of whether or not you're going to get the Charlotte County sheriffs who are literally trying to decide if they're going to go to IHOP or Applebee's at the end of their shift. I mean, they start their shift, and that's the first two things they're having. Are we going to IHOP, or are we going to go to Applebee's today? And beyond that, the other side of that, you might be flirting with the Sarasota County guys, and it's right on the cusp there. And it's so close to the beach that nobody really gives a shit. So,
you know,
I dodged a bullet.
I recently went down to visit Joe down in Naples, and on the way down, I counted probably 20 some odd fucking police cars. Right? And I'm like, holy shit, this is as bad as, because I just recently drove up to Vermont, up 95, and northern South Carolina was just like 20 miles of fucking cops. And that's the way, I forget what county it was, but that's the way the county was down there. I'm like, holy shit. Like, apparently there's no crime in that county, so the state troopers stay on the fucking highway. Good thing I wasn't driving a vehicle that went fast.
Yeah. Well, they do the, what do they call them? The wolf packs.
Yeah.
And you'll see that all the time, especially between Bradenton and like Northport here, coming down I-75. They'll be lined up in big ass conglomerations. You'll have one asshole standing up on an overpass with his radar gun and his radio.
Yeah.
And it's just shooting your ass, and he's calling down. All right, yeah, get the blue car, get the dickhead motorcycle, get whatever, and he just sits up there and just zaps everybody and says, "This is how fast," and just grab them.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the officer that tags you the one that's supposed to issue you the ticket? I may be wrong on that, but I thought that's how it is, because the other one couldn't even know that they.
No, you'd be wrong, because that's I got nailed on 54 in Pasco County from an airplane, and it was the guy in the ground that got me.
Yep. And that's all up and down the 95 and 75, especially the northern part of the state. They're bad with them goddamn airplanes, man.
Yeah. Fuck that, man. I'm not hurting anybody. Going
You got like a
75
single Cessna just like circling the fucking highway, just waiting to hit people.
Just about.
So they got to give like 50 tickets just to fucking pay for the assholes that are giving tickets. Then after that, it's revenue enhanced. So they gotta write out 100 tickets.
Yeah. Oh shit! He's 7 miles over. We gotta nail him because we got to cover the fuel today.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you're fucking wasting fuel doing that up there.
Yeah. No, they'll nail you for bullshit.
Yeah. Fuck that. You know what? I was in Long Island for 14 hours. Guess what they graced me with?
14 hours up there. What? I'm gonna guess a $575 ticket.
No, actually, it was a red light ticket. It's a red light ticket, and oddly enough, it's almost half the cost of the same ticket here in Gulfport.
Half.
Eddie?
$275?
No. This one here is it's the violation is 50, and the driver's response fee. I don't know what the RSEP fee is. It's $30, so it's $80. 81.60. So yeah, it was like $153.
You blew a red light, and by blew it, I mean you ran through the red light.
Actually, I made a right turn.
Some guy named Red Light.
I made a right, but here's the deal: like if I lived in Long Island, I'd fight this shit. But
right on red.
Yeah, and it's see that's the thing is I'd have to go to court. I made a right on red. But because it's a Florida plate, they're like, fuck it, let's send it to him, see what he does. But because it's a Florida plate, I'm gonna be fuck you. I'm not responding to this. What's the biggest thing that's gonna happen? I can't drive in the state of New York again. Big fucking deal.
Now, but I know I'm not wrong. Unless if it's a red arrow, no turn. But no red arrow, you're fucking golden as long as you yield.
But I'd have to go to court to prove that. And since they saw it as a Florida tag, they'd probably be like, well, fuck it, we'll win this one. This is the gray area that will win because he lives 1,200 miles away. See what I'm saying?
Hang on a second, guys. I gotta give a quick shout out and kiss my ass. Sorry about your luck. The time currently is 5:31 Eastern, and the temperature in Charlotte County, central Charlotte County, is 90.5 degrees. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had somebody on Twitter who was not happy with the fact that I was running weather reports. So there you have it. Time and temperature, really? Yeah, really.
Yeah. Right. This is a legit friggin' radio show.
Yeah.
Oh, he's afternoon drive. He's going with it. And actually, you know what? I think I just gained somebody as a new Raz Radio listener, as an old buddy of mine, and he just browsed the site and he was fucking commenting on how all the stories are like right up his alley. He's one of the new, not cop block type people, but I'm trying to get him in works to possibly come on one of the shows because it's definitely I'm directing him to First 52 because he was asking who was posting. I believe is it Raz or you that gets those stories, Dave?
Gets what?
The stories?
The stories for First 52.
We both do.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of a conglomeration of groups.
Right, but yeah, all of us contribute. I don't contribute all that often, but once in a while when I know it's an issue that we spoke about or that I'm passionate about, I will.
Dave is not allowed to contribute stories until he admits that chemtrails are real.
Or until he's ready to run the show into the ground.
Right. Or that I have to. What was the first story that you have to say that you accept God? Or what was?
No, I'm not saying that actual term. It's just called the loophole.
No. The one of the stories you're talking about in Long Island.
That's exactly it.
So I have to submit to a religion.
Yes.
Negative friction.
Yeah. Or negative friction. Exactly. See, I'm glad you're coming around to that. It's a real thing.
No, it's not.
You Google it. You'll find it.
I Googled. You don't think I Googled it?
It's a real thing.
It's not a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an abstract. It's not real.
It's an absolutely, certainly it's a real thing.
It is not. There is no such thing as negative friction.
I'm gonna have to write up the
that would be called viscosity then.
You gonna do your thesis on negative friction now?
Yeah, it's an absolute given.
We're far too old to be doing theses.
I know, right? Thesi.
Thesis.
Thesis. All right, guys. Beer time.
Okay.
You're listening to Salty Talk.
Shit. Yeah, I gotta grab a beer and take a piss. Be right back.
All right. For sure. Yo, Dave.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the insight and the help on Facebook too, brother.
Yeah. Here's the deal. God damn it! I wish I was there to shut the volume down. But anyway, my mother sent me to a therapist when I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14. I remember it was like about 2 years. I was riding my bicycle there, right? And my mother didn't think I was crazy, but I guess, I don't know, it was, 70s or late 80s, early 80s shit, hippie shit. And that guy taught me how to, like, look at myself, and understand certain things. And then after that, I went to family counseling from, like, 18 to 19, and that just told me how to fight with my family, and kind of, again, realize what I'm doing. And then I went from marriage couple therapy when I was 26. So every time I went,
like the gambit of fucking therapy.
Right. Everything I went through was always had a positive effect.
And that's what I want to do rather than actually, take something, because my one thing is, I mean, I am like an asshole, and I don't know why. Like, sometimes I'm just like a dick. I shut down. I've realized that there are people in my life that I've neglected. I'm trying to, rebuild those relationships. And being sober is a little easier, but it's just hard. Do you understand? Like, when you've projected a certain image, it's hard for people to get over it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
People in my family, they can kind of continue to accept me, but it's harder for me to just be like one of the regular people. And as well, I mean, we had this talk that morning when I called you. My social nature is a lot less without that juice. I mean, I'm not as social. It sucks, and I keep to myself a lot.
Oh shit! I just realized I'm broadcasting this. Hold on a second.
Oh shit!
Yes, I got football on Saturday, church on
mic back on.
I'm trying to figure out which. Let's see, we're at 5:30, right?
5:38.
So you're gonna find this as a break two. No, this is.
Raz Radio Live, Selfie Talk
I
Radio.
hope it's the right one now, because I don't remember which one it is now. I'm trying to remember what goddamn break we're on here.
The last one?
Raz Radio forecast. Atlanta, Georgia, 72 degrees.
Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, this is gonna piss everybody off now. Yeah.
20% chance of thunderstorms.
I used to get a lot of requests to get you because we would talk about the weather a lot, and I was like, man, you should do a weather report. So I started doing it, and I quit for like 2 months. I was like, you know what? It's a Monday, and the numbers are high. I'm gonna go ahead and just slam it in people's faces.
And mostly sunny skies. Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh shit! It was actually Chris from Jacksonville. Yeah.
And that was the end of the first one. Actually, ends with Jacksonville. Is like the last four. Well, it goes Jacksonville and it does. Then it comes here to Charlotte County. But yeah, as far as the line through. I don't know.
The Bronx, the land of heist click. 66 degrees.
How's your guys' Father's Day? Good?
I just stayed in the house. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. We had, stayed at the house, but it had all the kids over here. All the grandkids came over. Well, Lex and Sean. Sean said he was on call, but they were out at the beach and took the boat out or something. So, yeah. Basically, he didn't want to come over here.
You are like a whole hour away.
Mm-hmm.
And the beach is just right there.
Yeah, 10 minutes down the road or an hour away. Yeah.
You're right.
I totally understand that.
This is what keeps me from Tampa sometimes, too. I was like, it's only 70 miles away. But I'm like, fuck, that $40 in gas sometimes. I'm like, let me just hold on to that real quick.
Yeah.
6, 3, 1.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Careful not to break that credit card knife, too. I've heard things about those. Good for one use.
The credit card knife thing.
Yes.
Really? Because this was a Father's Day gift or a birthday gift or whatever you want to call it from yesterday. From my son-in-law, who he did a couple tours in Afghan, and he come back and now he's giving me these things here. You can hide a knife in your wallet.
Yeah.
I think it's a very cool little sharp. Jesus Christ, dude! I mean, literally, very, 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 very thin slices on a tomato.
Do you think you could actually get that on a plane?
The only thing I know about it is that for sure, a friend of mine walked into the county courthouse with one of these in the wallet. You know, you pull your wallet out and everything goes through the little
machine. Yeah. And
it went right through. Nobody caught it.
Nice.
Yeah.
The X-ray scanner.
I'm talking about.
It's a little.
Yeah. God forbid you bought a fucking pipe in there with a little bit of green leafy substance residue in there. They'll fucking arrest you for that.
Yeah, no shit, right? Or throwing dog shit at somebody.
I'm actually, when I go to the airport on Thursday to head out to LA, I'm going to refuse the body scanner just to see what the process is.
You want you want the full nut cup? Is that what you're going for?
I want to see how invasive it is, because I've seen videos and I've also heard that sometimes, depending on how nefarious you look, there'll be a little bit more than
you
not.
Are nefarious.
May I make a suggestion?
Did you hear that? Nefarious.
Do it on the way home.
You think?
Yeah, because I did the same shit when I went up to New York last year. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to refuse it. And I was like, I just want to get there, see my kid, go to the show. I can't, because, me, once they start to aggress upon me, it's going to be downhill. I'm gonna start fucking yelling and screaming and get your fucking hands, And I lack the ability to be peaceful in times like that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go. And I know it was a backscatter, not the other one. So I know that it wasn't a harmful one. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go through it. And then on the way home, it was the day of the sequestration when they shut down the government. So my plane was delayed.
Wait a minute. Is it a sequester or Is it a sequester?
Sequester.
It's a
Depending on what part
sequester.
of the country you're from.
It's a sequester.
It's a sequester.
So anyway, my plane was delayed for 4 fucking hours, and I was like, I just want to fucking go home, you know. So
Well, I may do that if I can keep my mouth shut. I may try to do it on the way because it's going to be a 6 or a 9 a.m. flight. I'll be at the airport at 6:30. I'll see how security is because I'm not going to make a fuss and not like need a good rub and tug or anything. I just want to see for myself. I've heard people say that actually they're not that bad sometimes.
So did any of the TSA guys get a little touch of stinky finger on you?
who, me?
Yeah.
No, I went through the fucking X-ray machine. That was my point.
Both directions?
Both directions. Because on the way home, I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to get home. You know,
So-
and actually, I decided.
You caved under your own own convictions?
Well, because it was what did I want to deal with? You know, and I just like, I don't want to deal with this now. But what I did was I made the decision right then and there. I was like, I will never fucking fly again. That's why I bought this little Ford Ranger, and I'm going to drive back and forth to New York. Right, that's what I'm going to do because I know it only takes me 18 hours, you know, to get from my son's house to here. Not from Vermont, but my son's house to here. 18 fucking hours. I drove home. It was great. I left at 6 o'clock in the morning. I walked in my house at 12 o'clock at night. It was fine. I'll do that way, and I was singing and dancing and pulling over, and it was me, not a herd of cattle in a fucking tin can with wings that that are attached with a whole lot of fucking laws.
You got a lot of anger, don't you?
I don't like the government.
You've got a lot of personal anger. Actually, I can appreciate the fact the driving thing so much. I hate it, but I enjoyed it. It's a much more comfortable experience in the long run, but it is definitely a little bit more arduous, and a little bit more time consuming.
Yeah. And it's actually, if you book right, it's actually more expensive to drive too. I could fly back and forth to New York, for around $300. Yeah,
and I was going to say, fuel-wise, especially if you've got a vehicle that's big enough to, God forbid, you've got a female with you in the vehicle with 4 and 5 and 6 items, we'll say the size of I don't know, other small vehicles. to drag along full of clothes and shoes, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
The fuel costs kind of ramp up in a big ass hurry.
Yeah.
But versus that, all right, yeah, you're paying for your plane ticket.
But here's the deal. If I was up there for 2 weeks solid, all right, and I had my own vehicle, if I would have flown up, rented a vehicle, and then flown home, I'd have been A, confined to their calendar, right?
Right.
And B, I would have spent more money because I would have rented the car. Now I went up there, I got my own vehicle, and I brought my friend's dirt bike up from Sarasota. So, that saved him hundreds of dollars to get that thing home. And I had my own car, and I can go home whenever the fuck I feel like it. I wasn't attached to a schedule, One of the things, I got to my son at 4:30 on a Saturday. I was like, what do you want to do tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. What? He's 20 years old. It's like I'm taking him to the fucking park, right? So I was like, what do you want to do? Nothing. So I just left at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was at my schedule, and that's true freedom. I don't have to deal with going to the fucking airport and dealing with getting felt up and losing my luggage or whatever. Sitting in the plane for 2.5 hours, or somebody's coughing next to me, some baby's crying. I did my own thing.
What was what year was the Sandy? What was it? Sandy that hit Long Island and all that shit. The hurricane.
I think it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, wasn't that
2
long
years ago?
Yeah, Superstorm Sandy. Yeah.
The year before that, we flew up to New York during hurricane season. One of these random little fucking storms was like working its way up the coast, and we were coming out of Raleigh to fly into LaGuardia, and no, we weren't going to LaGuardia. Shit, what is it? It was farther up the coast. Is Islip. We're flying in Islip.
Yeah, that's my son lives like 5 minutes away from there.
Yeah, and our flight got canceled because the storm was rolling up, whatever, and they rerouted us into LaGuardia.
Okay.
But the LaGuardia flight, instead of being a straight flight, we took off from Raleigh and we flew basically over Alaska. We went completely the opposite direction. Almost 5 hours we were in the air from the time before we landed. And then to get to where we needed to be for the people to pick us up, we had to catch the cab, go to Jamaica Station.
You got to change it, Jamaica.
Change it to dude. Creepy.
Every Long Islander knows that phrase.
That was a creepy joint, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
If something has a moniker of Jamaica Street or MLK Boulevard or anything like that, it's someplace that I'm staying far away from.
We took the cab from the airport to Jamaica Station. As we're getting out of the cab, we've got people across the street screaming at us, wanting to know if we need a ride somewhere.
Yeah.
Just random assholes standing on the side of the street.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm good.
Right.
I am good.
They got dried brown splotches on the back seat of the car. You're like, where did these come from?
Yeah, but if you were able to bring your gun into New York City, it wouldn't fucking bother you.
Right. I mean, like, yeah, come on. By the way, you're cool with me carrying this, right? Just having you lap the whole ride, and yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. Hey, yeah, drive me out to the Hamptons. Thank you very much.
Today is actually the first day since I've got my concealed license that I did not carry at work. It's been 4 years that I've had my concealed license. I did not carry all day.
What was the change? What was the?
I actually gave my guns for somebody to hold. So
someone else was holding it for you? Why?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because just the way that...
Because he wants to.
Why?
Being depressed and owning firearms is not a good thing. Yeah. So at the times where I'm getting down on myself, I'm not fearful of it, but...
It's just a smart thing to do.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. Fair enough.
But weirdly enough, I did have a little bit of a complex about it. And when I actually realized that I was out, and plus I'm a skinny fuck, and my pants are designed to wear a holster with it as well too, or one sized up. So now my shit's just sagging all day long. So pants up, and no good. But actually, it's the comfort just having that there is definitely something that, whether or not you had to use it or not, I can agree with Dave. When motherfuckers tell me I can't take it somewhere or anything, like, that's not a place that I want to go.
Get twitchy.
But, but I'm going to have to make that big. I was looking into California concealed laws, and it's such a fucking crock of shit that you have to prove, need for a concealed permit. It's not impossible to get your concealed permit out there, but you do need references. I'm a little iffy about the psychological exam. I think it's good, but the price that they want you to pay for your psychological exam is kind of fucked, and I don't know the ins and outs of, what they're going to deem you not fit for being psychologically sound to carry your weapon. It's
California.
Yes, California.
California. Do you get are your feelings easily hurt? Oh yes, okay. You can't get a concealed weapons permit.
Right.
Well, you brush your teeth in the morning, you can't get a concealed weapons permit.
Whatever. Just fluoride.
San Marino, California. Familiar with that area? It's kind of high dollar. San Marino.
Yeah.
The mayor of San Marino is in a little trouble this week because he was caught on camera leaving a bag of dog shit on his neighbor's walkway.
That's always classic.
San Marino. The mayor of San Marino.
And that guy must have been fucking frustrated.
The owner of the home claimed to identify what's his name, Kneiner, K-N-E-I-E-R, Kneiner.
If we were playing a drinking game on your show, people would have drank 4 or 5 times already, just in that one sentence alone.
On that one, yeah, Kneiner, Schlemiel, Schlazo. They put use, but do not intend to press any littering charges.
That's That's fucking hysterical. See, that's
awesome.
See, Sean took the thing like surveillance cameras are shitty. I'm like, no, we should all have surveillance cameras, and
everywhere.
Right, because then we'll catch the balance of power will come back. If we all have surveillance cameras. And that's fucking awesome that the guy caught him on video putting a fucking bag of dog shit on his porch like a fucking 13-year-old.
So, late in the day, this past Saturday, Liz and I were returning from a walk in Lacey Park when I noticed a bag of dog waste in the West Parkway near the lamppost. This is the statement.
You sounded like an effeminate Milton from Office Space.
Think about where they're at.
I got 2 words for that statement. Actually, 3 words.
You're the lamppost.
Fucking white people.
Yeah, fucking white people, right?
Because that wasn't a black dude.
White people. What's up, Kevin?
I'm just going to give Eric a little advice he needs to California, is to find a state that has a concealed carry, i.e. Nevada, that honors, or California honors their permit, because they do permits around here that are good in California and Nevada. So.
Well, and the thing about that is that I have to show proof of residence, a couple of things. It's not impossible to get your concealed out in California, and it's actually somewhat easy to bypass that situation. It's basically a note for your need to carry. It could be as easy as a note from a business owner saying that you help them, with transferring funds, bank deposits, things such as that. It's just the price of what you have to pay. Here, it cost me less than $200 to get my license. There, it's probably going to run up to $600 to $800.
See, that bothers the shit out of me, because if you were to get married in the state and you went over there, they'd fucking realize they'd reciprocity. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Reciprocity.
There'd be reciprocity there, right? Without any fee, right? And if your driver's license, all they would do is just charge you to change it to a California driver's license, and that's just a nominal administration fee. You don't have to take another test or anything like that. But to get to transfer your gun permit from one state to another, then you got to go through these fucking laws, which says Congress shall make no laws. Yes, I'm angry, and sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you the mayor of San Marino?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. No, I'm going to look into that.
What happened, Kevn?
I just sort of out there. I'll go back to listening because I can get my concealed carry in different states too if I want to. So, all right, back to the show.
Thanks, brother.
Later, man.
That was weird. Okay, so
no, he was just trying to tell you that you can get a multi-state permit. If you live in Nevada. Because
you can really get a multi-state permit.
Well,
I can go to like my local fuck me over office, government agency, and apply for a multi-state permit.
There's only 34. Well, Eric and I both have multi-state permits. We have reciprocity in 34 states, right? So it doesn't matter where we go. Boom.
I'm just want to check and see if Eric's still here because Buzzy called in and everything went wonky.
All right. Well, Eric and I both have concealed weapons permits, and our permits are legit in 34 states. There's reciprocity. Whoever is in that state can come here with their concealed permit, and I can go there with no shit. Like when I just drove up to New York, I could have went all the way to the fucking Virginia/Maryland border, concealing the whole way, and I could went one more state with it in my car, and then in one more state, and then my fucking clip became illegal in the communist state of New York.
Your clip, yeah. Would you have more than like two rounds in your clip?
No,
or something?
even my little gun, because it's over a 10 round. It's actually because New York State made it a 7-round clip, and nobody makes 7-round clips, so even the cops are illegal. But even my little carry gun is an 8-round clip. I didn't want to fucking deal with going through New York and having to deal, because I was driving with a dirt bike and driving fast, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a camera on me. I'm not ready to deal. I'm not ready to be civilly disobedient yet. So I just fucking left the gun home. And it really annoyed the shit out of me because, I don't like being anywhere without protection on me.
Well, and that thing with the Florida license, concealed license, is actually the most widely recognized concealed permit out of any state. I believe it's 30-plus states that they'll actually recognize your concealed permit in.
34. And here's the funny thing is I was driving to a state that didn't even need a permit. Like I could have been in there, I could have open carried without a permit in Vermont. But to get my gun there, I couldn't get it there.
Dave, do you carry regular or magnums?
Oh, small by tinies. There are people out there that can back me up on that too.
Small penetration, the least penetration he can get.
The least.
The fattest, thickest ones I can get.
We're just
to cover up
the surface. Just that's it.
Just weld. It's a little welt. Speak.
Did you see those fucking, I don't know what they call them, but they're these new rounds that fragment when they hit.
Yeah.
Those things look kind of dangerous to me, man.
You know, the ones that I
think is an understatement.
Yeah. They advertise as the last round you'll ever need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I hear it fucks your gun up, and it's not as accurate or it's not as good as you think it was. You know what? You just need decent frangible rounds if you are, inside close quarter battle. But I don't really give a shit. I live in a concrete building. I don't give a fuck. So I got hollow points and
hollow points all you need.
Yep,
and you're done.
Yeah. Well, in the AR, of course, the 223 doesn't come in hollow point. Neither does my shotgun. I got a nice 3-inch slug or 2.5-inch slug in the shotgun.
I mean, if you're a little bit 223, I mean you're going 2, 3, 4, 500 yards.
Yeah, that's if somebody steals my truck and drives away. I could pop them from down the road. Not only that, they have to come out, and I could jump over the fence and catch them on the way back.
Hollow points when somebody steals your last toilet paper roll.
Nah, I wouldn't. You know what? Because I've thought about, what if I were to actually get to the point where I have to shoot somebody? Could I really do it?
What do you think would be the tipping point for that?
Well, if they fucked with somebody in my family or friends, yeah, then all rationality goes out. But if somebody,
well, no, okay, now that's a good question. Okay, fuck with somebody in your family or friends, but then you've got time to think about it before you see them. If it's in front of you at the time is one thing. But what if it's something that you've got time to rationalize?
I don't know. See, here's the deal. I have both of my trucks are outside my window, and I have all these crazy sleeping hours. Like last night, I go to sleep till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of look out my window all the time. And if I ever, because my truck's been broken into, not in this parking spot, but another one. And so it's been broken into, and other people's vehicles have been broken into here. If I actually caught somebody, how would I handle it? Would I go out guns a-blazing, or would I take the shotgun out and do that one sound that makes everybody's asshole pucker, which is yeah. Get down.
You can't go out guns a-blazing, dude.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. Is now I'm thinking, I was like, the reality of it is, would I shoot? And I'm like, no. I think I would rather try to put this, situation down at all costs before I fire. Like I wouldn't turn around and be like, hey, pow,
If he has something in his hand, then yeah, it's open season, dude.
Well, I would make sure that I was actually covered.
Got a beer.
There's many cars in this parking lot.
Anyway, or God forbid, the go-to, there's something in his hand. That'd be the cop.
Right.
Block fucking argument. Yeah, and it turns out to be a goddamn sub sandwich wrapped in aluminum foil.
I was afraid for my life because he had a sandwich in his hand. It looked like a big gun.
It was a get down. He's got a hoagie.
Right.
What was that in Goodfellas where they shot those two guys getting out with the foil wrap sandwich? The fucking mafiosos.
I don't remember that.
Was it Goodfellas?
It was one of the mafia movies. I always confuse them. It might have been Casino.
Casino, yeah. I know. Goodfellas well, and then Casino not so much. Goodfellas actually, some of it was filmed right down the block from where I used to work.
I think it was Casino, yeah, I think it was Casino.
It was Nicky's crew.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was Casino. Right.
Yeah. he had a sandwich.
I remember people in fucking Brooklyn were getting popped all the time. They even, they in the movies and TV shows, you see they do a car bomb. My friend was next to a car bomb. I actually was probably 20 minutes early to a fucking Nicky Black, the assassinated Nicky Black right across the street from where I was, because I had to go to the bank over there at night.
Yeah.
And I was 20 minutes early away from this fucking shooting.
Here's part of the apology letter from the San Marino mayor in a voice that would tie in with Casino.
Wasn't me.
Rather than leave it or dispose of it properly, I placed it on your sidewalkway. This was a mistake for which I apologize. It won't happen again.
It was merely a lapse in judgment.
I'm sorry. I put some shit on your sidewalk. My bad. Have a cannoli. Really? That's what he said. Rather than leave or dispose of it properly, I placed it on your sidewalkway.
Yeah.
This was a mistake for which I apologize, and it won't happen again. Shit slinger.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you know what's gonna happen? That guy's gonna get beat up at the fucking parking lot of the grocery store because he won't have his cameras up then.
I know, right?
I know how they operate.
Fucking guys.
Fucking get
Just
me once.
fucking guys.
Just fucking guys, right?
Fujili.
Did you anybody watch what's the name of the show? Tonight Show?
Tonight?
Tommy Clams. Whatever.
No, I didn't see it last night.
No, it was a week ago when the Rangers were doing their shit, and they interviewed some dude in the street in Manhattan, and it was some dude from Brooklyn. He's like, yeah, they call me fucking Tommy Clams. I had 12 dozen clams over there in Sheepshead Bay. Now I know exactly where he's talking about in Sheepshead Bay, Randazzo's. But it's just like that's the quintessential dude from Brooklyn. Like I could have easily known that dude because there's so many of those assholes in Brooklyn.
Hey, I got a question that just fired in from the Twitter box. I'm gonna launch the question and let you and actually all three of you fellows are should be up to speed on this. And when we get back from break, I want to hear the answers. But the question is, how does this whole deal with the conceal? How does that work when crossing state lines?
Checking from state to state is a good thing.
Yeah,
but
I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, we'll answer that after break. See, I'm trying to drag them through break, man. I'm trying to get them through the break.
How long's the break for?
It's 7 minutes, almost 7 minutes flat.
All right, I'll be right back.
Might be, I'm
trying to milk this shit forever, man. You got to keep people locked in, right?
That's why I don't do afternoon drive. I just do the fucking end of the night.
I got to keep everybody on until somebody good comes on.
Right. Oh, come on, dude. You got some good listenership. I see Mike is listening in today, too. There's quite a few. I'm trying to gather some listeners, too. Like I said, my buddy, he could be somebody who might want to be involved, at least even just the good listenership is what we need. But he's
consistent would be nice. You know, a year or so ago, man, I was doing 6 to 9 a few days a week rather than 4 to 7. And the numbers were similar or better than they are now, and they just took a giant shit last fall. And I really want to see them coming back, but it is what it is. I got Buzzy. You know, what more can you ask for? He's the most consistent, lovable guy that you could ever want to have calling in and fuck with people.
Oh yeah, Buzzy, you gotta fucking love him. Except when you hate him.
What's the matter, Buzzy?
Fucking white people.
Fucking white people. You know it. A couple years back when I went to New Hampshire for Pork Fest, I brought my guns up, and the laws were different there and different then, and I could actually, you know, I just had to stash my guns and ammo in a different spot, locked up somewhere in my truck. Whereas this time, the New York law is so fucking fakakta that I don't know. New York and New Jersey have fakakta laws, and I was going to spend a lot of time in both states, a lot of miles, and I was like, I just don't want to deal with the fucking bullshit. You know, if I got a gun and I got pulled over, no matter if it's legal or not, they're going to bust my balls at this point. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave it alone.
Right. Yeah, I'd figured from what I'd heard prior, and I know laws are changing all the time, such as down here. The best thing I like about the laws that have changed here in the last couple of years is the improper display of weapon, which was the #1 gun crime here in Florida. Because, you know, some asshole didn't put the right shirt on, or it was basically an automatic misdemeanor right there for the same as brandishing a weapon. Now it's at the discretion of the police officer, which is, who knows if that's any better, but at least it's not an automatic crime
right.
for that thing.
Exactly. That was 2-3 years ago that law came out, where an accidental flash of your firearm was not that big a deal, which is great for me because I bend over sometimes and that fucking thing pops out because I'm fat. And I'm constantly kind of fucking with my back on the shirt, but sometimes like I'm grabbing something from the bottom of the shelf at the supermarket and I can't grab it. So and I turn around and somebody's looking at me, and I'm like, whoops, sorry.
Well, I do the bend at the knees. That's what I've gotten good at doing, just because I'm a skinny fuck, and that's what I had to go down with the subcompact 45, because I do feel more comfortable carrying the 45. I can handle it with 2 hands. I can handle it with 1 hand, but the thing is, I'm not. I know what they say about you have split-second decisions to do that, but literally, I've practiced drawing out of the holster, and I can get rounds down, where I need to in just a few seconds. But that's so I try to explain when people are looking at getting a concealed carry piece. You have to look at your frame. You have to look at what you can handle. And, again, because say some cop had a bad fucking day and he saw that, it could be, an even worse day for you, just because there was some guy in the area that they were looking for. Yep. That's why I've worn it for 4 years plus, and I've had no printing issues ever.
Yeah, well, it's a different story between you and me. And most of the time when I stand up, I got no printing issues. Like, you can't tell it's there. It's just when I bend over and then the shirt just rises right up and then hooks on the gun and stays there. And just like, hello, there's the gun for everyone to see.
Yeah. It's just...
Well, like about Iowa, with my concealed carry in Iowa, being I have a concealed carry, I can also legally open carry.
Yeah.
I never do, but I'm not scared if anybody happens to see it.
Right.
Well, the thing is, if you're open carrying and shit does go down and there's a guy with a concealed carry right behind you, if some, fuckwad wanted to come in and was going to shoot some people, he's going to shoot the open carry guy first.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want to. That's why I don't open carry.
Right. So I'm the same way. I believe I'm not against open carry. I think those guys in Chipotle with the ARs and shit, I thought that was a little overkill, and that was just to make themselves look cool when they're probably not. I just don't need I don't need to flaunt shit off, man. I don't want people to know that I'm carrying a gun.
And you really don't. That's the thing, because if you want to catch them by surprise, even if there's a gun to the back of my head, you don't know that I have a fucking gun. I've got a little bit of a chance.
Right.
And it's at least that fleeting instant that I just need maybe a few seconds to access it. But right. I'm not going to be a hero for anything else, but also sometimes I'll kill you over $20. I don't want to, I don't want to lose my life, nor do I want to hurt anybody else. That's why, I've checked my my aggression right. and things like that, such as drinking, because rather than even hurting myself, thinking about living with having to hurt somebody else and living with that for the rest of my life, that'd be worse than dying. Maybe not, but.
Yeah, well, no, because when you're dead, you just don't know any different, to live on with that guilt. I don't know how I don't know how Cynthia deals with her issue from 20 some odd years ago.
941-621.
All right, 10 seconds, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer.
Answers ready?
I'm gonna answer the question and then leave.
You're gonna answer and leave?
Yeah, but there's too many people on the show as is, and I got shit to do.
You got shit to do.
I thought it was gonna go to 6.
You thought it was gonna go? No, dude, we go till 7 o'clock today.
All right. Well, there's other people, man. Other people calling in. I don't want to.
Yeah. All right.
I can hang up. It ain't no big deal.
No. Everybody's staying right here. All right. Are we back? Are we back from break yet?
Yes, we're back from break.
Oh, thank you.
And we're back.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, we're back from break, and thank you very much for listening to Kooky Radio here on 109.5. So,
Fucking white people.
All right, so guys, how do you handle it rolling over the state line? What's the answer? What's the fix?
All right, I'll go first. You can. There are websites out there that tell you what states have reciprocity, and it's usually between like Florida up to Virginia, over to the Midwest, and then down. As soon as you get to the more non-conservative states, that's when the reciprocity stops. But look it up before you go.
Non-conservative states.
What?
Did you say non-conservative states?
Yeah, I was gonna say liberal because that's what Buzzy would like, but I don't like California, New York. the north, parts of the Northeast have, these.
I call those communist states.
Yeah, well, me too. As a truck driver, I used to call Connecticut the communist state. Anyway, so it's easily, I think it's USAcarry.com or some shit like that. It's easy to find out what state you can go and see if there's reciprocity in the state that you're going to and the route you're traveling to get there. There's actually there's companies that you could actually hire for insurance just in case you get, let's say I did get arrested in New York, they would come to your aid. Which actually I think the next time I go I'm going to do that so that I will bring the guns. Like,
the thing about that too is, as we were kind of just talking a little bit, I think a lot of even some of those states that don't allow you to carry or have your gun, as concealed on you, they will allow you to pass through if you are honestly passing through. Same as truck drivers. There are certain places to where if you're a truck driver, some companies won't allow you to have your weapon in the cab whatsoever. But if it is stored properly and you're just passing through, that's why you have to look at all the subsections. I have actually read through all of the concealed wording in the documents here for anything you would need to. It's all legalese, so brushing through it and actually understanding it is another thing too, because it's all double negatives and everything else like that. But just the same as down here, I need to again continue to read that laws where they say for schools, you're never allowed to have your weapon on schools. But if you're traveling to pick up a kid from being out of the day at work and you're in your car with your gun, you're not getting out onto school property. There's some people that say that that's not true, that you can't do that. I've read the law quite a few times, and I believe that's what it does say. School functions are also limited to not having you carry. But these are the types of things that when we see, I was talking to Dave over the break with the change of, the printing of a gun, the laws are constantly changing, so that's why where he said to look them up frequently. I mean, at least once a year, if not twice a year, and you'd be surprised at little things that do change from state to state.
Buzzy, I was at Buzzy. Buzzy is the one that goes state to state to state to state all over the place. How do you handle it? Well, you don't go past the Rockies, but you went to California here not too long ago, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but a little while back, yeah. But you don't go and say, "Hey, everybody, look what I got."
So you just say you keep mum's the word and just call it a day. You don't worry about it.
Basically, yeah.
So what if you were to get pulled over? How do you handle that?
What do you mean? How do I handle that?
He doesn't get searched. He doesn't get searched.
Well, all right. So what happens? You get pulled over. They want to search your truck. What do you say?
You got a warrant?
Ask me if I have a weapon or drugs. Is usually what they ask, and you say no.
Usually what they ask. So this is something that happens on a regular basis?
A lot of times you get pulled over, yes, DOT or Highway Patrol will ask you, do you have any drugs or weapons? And I say no.
All right, guys.
They believe your ass when you say no.
Probably.
Probably.
Apparently, because he hasn't been arrested yet.
He's not in jail yet, so apparently, yeah.
All right.
I am legal to carry my weapon from Iowa all the way to Florida, except Illinois. But I can pass through Illinois, but my gun has to be locked up somewhere else, and my ammo has to be somewhere else where it's not accessible to my reach.
What if they're both accessible, but they're not combined within the same box?
You're in trouble.
Really?
They find it.
Yeah.
So Illinois, is that douchey?
Yeah, douchey.
The murder capital of the fucking world, is that douchey about you having a combination of elements within arm's reach?
Because they want to make it. They want to keep it.
Making it a concealed carry legal for their residents right now. But as far as reciprocity with other states, I have no idea. I ain't looked into it quite yet. So they just made it a law.
Like reverse.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
All right, I'm going to go, guys.
Where are you going?
I got shit to do.
Taco Bell?
No. I'll catch you guys later, man. Thanks for having me on.
And thanks for calling in, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Love you, bud.
Bye.